Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I put a video about Nusret. You know that Salt Bay guy, the one that owns that restaurant in London that's just really, really overpriced. So I was banging on about how expensive some of the stuff was, like £500 for a steak. What was it, like £11 for a bottle of Red Bull, £12 for a bottle of water. However, I've now come across a recent receipt, and let me tell you, it gets worse. Okay, so a lot of people had an issue with me saying that it was expensive. That if you don't have money, then don't go there. And I don't have money, I'm not going there. I literally can't even afford the sparkling water, right? Literally can't. The bigger question is, what the extent will people go to just for social media, just to impress other people? At this point, I ain't even blaming him. I'm blaming the absolute morons, Ryan and his mates, that went out. 4 of them went out and spent 37 grand. £37,000 in a restaurant. £4,000 of it was literally a service charge. They only spent £32,000. Now, let me just... Eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed a couple of things. Now, we've already discussed that the golden tomahawk being 850 quid is appalling. Like, crusted fries are 30 quid. £30 for some fries. Sauteed mushrooms, 12 quid, right? Broccoli, the vegetable no one even likes, 14. Asparagus, one asparagus, 18 quid. And do you know what? It ain't even like, none of these are like golden or nusret type things. Look, they've got nusret baklava, which, you know, he's charging £400 for, which is still appalling. But it's not a nusret asparagus. It's just an asparagus from the market. I mean, 2 bottles of still water, £18. Take, for example, their entire bill, if you add it up, most of their 37 grand bill was on alcohol. Was on bottles of wine or champagne or whatever it is. How have you spent £9,000 on a bottle of 1996 Petrus? £9,000. What's worse is they spent £20,000 on 2 bottles of 2003. 2003, are you taking the mick? Do you know those people that show off? I've got my bottle from my vineyard from the early 60s. This is from 2003, mate. It was only a couple of years ago, literally a couple of years ago, and you're drinking a bottle for 20 grand from a couple of years ago. Oh, have several days off. They spent 30 grand, literally 30 grand on just bottles of champagne. Their food, right? Their food did not even come to the same amount as their service tip. So literally, they got food which was less than the amount they paid for a service charge. Have a day off. Have several days. Go have a quiet word with yourself in the corner. You've been mugged off. You've been mugged off.